Hello, folks. Welcome to the first ever episode of the podcast from the pit lane. It's always nice to have you. This is your host, Vanshil Chauhan, and I'm joined by none other than Paji and Akshat. So, before beginning the today's episode, I would like to give a big shout out to my fellow buddy, Anvay Pramanik. And this is because this podcast was made possible because of him. A couple of months back, I did a podcast with him. You'll have link to the episode below in the description. It was an awesome experience. It was, as usual, all Formula One talks, but that episode was one of my one of the point which intrigued my interest into the podcast. So, Anwar, if you're listening, buddy, this episode is dedicated to you, man. So, uh, what's to look forward to in this episode? So we're gonna talk about Netflix Drive to Survive. Obviously, that is the most awaited thing whole off season whenever we are not having any Formula One stuff. So that's the thing which every F1 fan looks forward to. So we're gonna talk about that, and then we'll have some talks about the Formula One game. Obviously, there has been a big overhaul in that section as well, and it is very popular among the fans these days. In fact, it has made to an esports platform. So we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna talk about the 2021 teams, driver lineups, the changes that has taken place in all those teams, and we will follow it up with recent testing. Unfortunately, it isn't much, but we will discuss that. And then comes the fan favorite part. We will discuss what the fan expect from this season, what rivalries could brew up upon the grid, and then we're gonna close with a surprise, which will be revealed at the end of this episode. So yeah, guys, among of all these things, what are you most excited about? Akshat.
So I'm most excited about the rivalries. I wanna discuss something about it, which we'll reveal it at the end of the episode. You guys have to wait for it, but it will be most exciting part. And another exciting part would be liveries and the drivers. There are some changes and some technicalities we are gonna discuss in this episode. So sure to watch till the end. You're gonna have something new to learn about in this season and 2020 what brings it 2021 and so keep watching till the end and over to you Bali. What's your expectation?
Majorly the same. More from the team side. First of all, two major team changes. Alpine came out of nowhere, being performing well in endurance racing for the first time in Formula One. It's good to be seeing them, and let us see how they perform in this totally new segment. And apart from this, Aston Martin, obviously, the BTW Racing Point was doing very well. If we just look at it at 2020 season, finishing at P4 in constructors would be like amazing, seriously amazing.
Yeah.
And just looking down to it, Sebastian Vettel again, a major leap, 5 years down in 5 years down in Ferrari, and then shifting down to Aston Martin is amazing. This is from the sport part, but when it comes to the entertainment, Drive to Survive season 3, the most amazing season so far. So let's see. Hope for the best. It's going to be a great season down there.
Yeah.
As for me, there are a couple of things, but I guess being a big gamer, I am very excited about the new game, which
Yeah. Yeah.
would be soon down the
Obviously.
road. And apart from that, from the sport itself, I am very excited to see Seb in green. Of course, along with me, there is a long queue of fans who is waiting to see, hopefully, better performances. Of course, he is apart from so-called toxic environment in back in Scuderia. So that is one of the talking points, and I can't wait to see another Mercedes 1-2 right at the Bahrain. after their over dramatic preseason testing. And third,
Yeah.
and last but not the least, to see the new Red Bull program drivers, Yuki Tsunoda and Checo Perez. I'm very
Yes.
excited and kind of intrigued to see how they go about their business. So yeah, so this is what to look forward to this episode. And without further ado, let's get into this episode.
I'm sorry, Vanshul, but how did you forget Fernando Alonso is coming back to Formula One? You're forgetting that. And some major ancient names. Schumacher is back on the grid. Kimi Raikkonen is doing his I don't know which season.
What?
He's so consistent into it. So some older names are coming back to the grid as well. So very excited to see that as well.
It would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
a very nostalgic period for
Yeah.
older F1 fans, seeing Verstappen.
All those three to four names
Exactly.
in the grid. It will be like watching 2004, 2003 Formula One races.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
And if this season delivers as much as potential it has on paper, then it is going to be a cracker one. In fact, a step up
Indeed.
than 2020 season, which
Yeah,
was
definitely.
so weird, but yet it over delivered than what we expected in this
Exactly.
time.
Yes.
So yeah, so moving on, let's talk about Drive to Survive. I managed to see about I think I'm on sixth episode right now, and so far so good. So the first episode is called Cash is King, and as the name suggests,
Uh,
there are some pretty good revelations, should I say? And the most important thing that struck me was the influence of Lewis Hamilton. Man, he has such a fan following, such a big influence over the fans in world of Formula One. According to a rumor or a report, which I heard, was many of the drivers, teams, and even FIA was willing to continue the regular season under the COVID itself. It was Lewis
yeah.
Hamilton who first stood against it and said, I don't get why we are here. I think it was his first stand which resulted into a delayed season. So
Okay.
that just adds to the character that guy possesses. And I think the next episode would be the third episode, of course, which is one of the most viral things nowadays, the unfiltered Bottas, which we got to see. So that is a good talking point. And after that, the episode four's title, we need to talk about Ferrari.
Talk about Ferrari.
Yeah.
Don't need to say that much over here, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? Have you guys managed to see any episode yet?
No, I haven't managed to see any of them actually. I'm still, trying to manage
I am
things
still
right
here.
here. So
Why
yeah,
are you
yeah.
still
So
here?
yeah, although I want to discuss about the over Formula One and the motorsport actually. So we talk about Hamilton's influence, but we forget that he has so people hate Hamilton. You know that, right? There are so many people they actually hate him. I've never seen so much hatred for a champion like Hamilton has right now. So
Yeah.
Hamilton has that influence because he doesn't give a shit about anything. Exactly.
And trust me, if
Think about
Aditya is
if
listening to this conversation right now, he would be the happiest man on the whole planet.
Not the happiest man, but the saddest man would be Akshat over here. Obviously. We got to know that Akshat is blaming that Hamilton has haters.
but it's truth actually. You know that Hamilton has so many
Yeah.
haters right now. You
Exactly.
can see pages on social media hating Hamilton, right? So he has
Exactly.
that influence because he doesn't give a shit about anything. He only thinks about
Yeah.
he only thinks about Formula One right now. He thinks about the fans who actually want to see Formula One
Yeah,
every year. So he always and you think about that. We haven't seen any movement like Black Lives Matter in ages right now. So come from Formula One to endorse that movement is a big thing. And because of Hamilton, Black Lives Matter came into Formula One as well. People
man.
talked about racism and all those things is because of Hamilton. And as I said, because Hamilton has so much of people hating him, and still going up like that is a big thing. You need a big guts. For that.
Exactly, man.
So
Exactly.
Hamilton has that. About Bottas's unfiltered things.
Ah.
Ricardo tweeted that I think you seen that, right, Avanshit? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you've seen that.
that was
Yeah, yeah.
some epic tweet.
Yeah, Fazi, you have seen that too, right? Ricardo posted on Instagram and Twitter too.
Twitter, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He posted a story on Instagram as well, I think.
He is
Yeah.
the banter king after Lord Lando himself, and they are driving together.
And
Both
they're
Yeah,
both in
yeah,
the same
for the
team.
episode. Paji,
yeah.
have you managed to see Drive to Survive yet?
4 episodes so far. And considering the best moment would be episode 2, last few minutes, Lando winning his first podium.
First podium.
Scenario 7,
Amazing
guys.
feat.
Scenario
Seriously, man.
7
Amazing
was
feat.
all round.
Seriously, man. Just seeing how that a kid, just 20, 22 years old, and
He is even
getting
younger
down
than me.
and
Lando Norris is actually younger than me. He is born in
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
1999.
actually, he's younger than all three of us.
All
Exactly.
three of us, exactly.
And he is already a podium sitter in Formula One.
Yeah,
And we are doing here and recording this. Mm.
One day, man. One day, I don't know when. We should make it to
it'll happen.
one day,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, it'll happen.
Exactly. Seriously.
So now
Yeah.
moving on to the
So moving on to Vanshil, I want to ask about, as you said, you are a big gamer, and we know that you are a big gamer. So what's your expectation about EA actually, EA F1 2021,
uh,
as Codemaster has taken over by EA. So
so
what's your expectation?
top of my mind, I would say extremely expensive. Just the EA does things. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to explore a couple of my wallets to buy the game. Not to mention the purchasable DLCs that follow later. I mean, these are EA things. Of course, it would be very nice if they decide to change it a bit and have some sympathy over Formula One and fellow Formula One fans. So that would be nice. But yeah, EA is a big group again, so everyone can expect a lot of improvements from them. And yeah, I have been playing F1 games, I think, back from F1 2017. And I think that was the point since this franchise became so popular. Of course,
Yeah.
F1 2017 and 18, I had some other ways to play. And since F1
We
2019,
all know that.
F1 2019, I've been playing that on Steam. So F1 2019 was good. But F1 19 had that F2 storyline in the beginning, and they introduced Formula 2 in it. So that was pretty cool. And in F1 2020, they took it to a whole different dimension, introducing My Team mode. So you get to go in your team's car competing with the actual
Actual cars.
of Formula
Exactly.
One drivers.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good experience. As from what I expect from F1 2021 is my team mode was good, but a couple of cutscenes, which is EA specialty these days, I guess, from FIFA, that would be good. And bug fixes. I remember playing in my team mode a couple of days ago. Poor Bottas had 13 pit stops in the whole race, and
13 pit stops.
13 pit stop. And the
Pit
funny
stop
thing,
was 23 to 25 seconds. You know this
no, no,
better.
I'm not talking about second. I'm talking about the number of pit stops. He's pitted 13 times. Of course, a bug. And the funny thing is, each pit stop was at least 40 seconds long. I guess, if possible, I would attach an image over here if I have it in my PC. Each pit stop was at least 40 seconds long, and he had 13 of them, finishing just about two DNF guys. I I finished, I think, sixth or seventh. My character finished sixth or seventh, and I think I lapped him fifth five times in the whole race.
Oh my god.
I hope the same doesn't happen to Valtteri in this season. But yeah, the best.
Not gonna.
Okay, so moving on from that, we are on our first most awaited section here. Let's talk about
Yeah.
teams, the grid in 2021. Take it over, Akshat.
Yeah. So we'll start from last year's championship, and we're gonna reverse it. So we'll start from Williams first. So Williams revealed their livery, their driver lineup. So let's talk about that. So Paji, tell me what's your expectation about from what was your expectation? What did you receive, and how happy are you from the Williams livery and their performance and everything? Please go ahead.
For Williams, as they were just following the liveries for the navy blue and white to be the persistent colors.
Yeah.
For this time, I think they have been got inspired from Finding Dory. The tidbits of the candy colors is totally amazing. The vehicle is looking pretty good, pretty new, and let's see. I'm just expecting to score some constructor points. That would be a very much big deal for them this year. Constructor as well as drivers.
Yeah.
We have seen both the drivers are talented. George Russell, we remember Circuit GP.
Exactly.
He just got gutted. So talent is there. Just let's see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Even I actually like Williams livery. 2021's livery is actually better than the previous
It's
livery.
actually fresh. It just seems like they are just freshen out the things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the team principal changed, so now they want to change the car. They want to change the attitude of the teamwork, and they want to change
exactly
the no winning thing. No points thing. So they are gonna try to score some points this
I think
season.
they are.
I hope so.
A bit of reconstruction of the team. Of course, the Williams is such a legendary name in Formula One history. So I think they are willing to get back to those glory days.
Yeah.
So
Hope for the best.
As for me, I guess they have been over-inspired from my team mode. I guess this livery is so virtual. I mean, no one has ever seen this kind of livery so far in history. I mean, it is good. They have tried something different to look different on the grid and hopefully expect different results. So idea is there, but I think designer took a liberty way too much. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Williams. So who's next? I think Haas, right? Haas is up next.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Haas. So I guess Haas it is pretty clear why Haas have opted for such design. I guess they have increased a fan base in a particular country. So I guess
we don't want to name it.
There is a quote, money talks.
Yeah. Or should I say not the fans, or should I say money flow? Certain businessman has invested heavily in Haas. So yeah, it is reflecting pretty much intensely on their colors. So what is your take on it, Paji?
I don't want to tell you, but the similar situation happened back in 19 as well, when when Reach Energy came out of nowhere and changed the Everly on a whole different level.
And
I
that
just
was a
hope.
pretty sick library, though.
Yeah, exactly. I just hope that didn't happen. That don't happen in this season as well. So hope for the best and a total new lineup for the drivers. And again, Mick Schumacher, FIA F2 Formula 2 champion. So major hope from him. And Nikita is also a good driver. So let's hope for the Mazepian as well that how he performs.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
Car is totally onto a mid-average grade. So hope for the best. What we can say for it.
Cool. What about you, Akshat?
So I'll say that Haas is the team that's been always in controversies. Yeah. You
Exactly.
consider from Reach Energy to
Good
Prakali.
understanding, man.
Yeah. So you know that. I thought that they could have been done something better. Rather than just putting a flag on it. They could have done
Exactly.
something much better with the new sponsors, with the new team, with the new driver lineups. They could have done something so much better. It could have been the best livery into 2021 season, but they chose not to do that. So I'm not gonna say much about it. It's
I mean,
still
it's pretty
controversial.
obvious.
It's because yeah, because they are still under investigation about their
Exactly.
livery.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, let's just keep it and let's just go to Alfa Romeo.
The thing
So
is, when they launched the livery, I was expecting that they are gonna get some stick from the fans and from the governing bodies as well, because it looked controversial the moment you lay eyes on that car. You know,
Exactly.
yeah,
and
exactly.
the preface to this livery, which was obviously the infamous Mazepin incident, which was inappropriate, I guess, but yet being fans were rarely over that incident and giving them another blow in a row is such a I mean, end of the line for us. And if icing on the cake, they have a poor season, which in most likely scenario they would have. It would be a complete disaster for the American team, I guess. So yeah, let's see.
The thing you said American team, you quote it American team. So
Yeah.
people are mad because of that thing that you are an American team, so behave like it.
Yeah, there's a lot
People have only
between those two countries as well. So I think that also
yeah,
comes to the play among the
exactly,
competition that
exactly.
fans are in. I think that's
Hmm.
also a major factor that is affecting this controversy.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to Alfa Romeo.
Ooh.
Uno reverse card. So once here, what about it?
I mean, a lot of people would say that they have pulled a Uno card, but you have to realize that is one good-looking car, man. I mean,
Actually.
they have a pretty nice looking car, consistent since 2019, if I'm not wrong. Since Kimi moved back to Alpha, they have absolute sick livery since then. But this season, I don't know why. If I mean, white is less dominant on the car. If is that a reason or what? But this car just looks better, so much better than last year's. Obviously, there has been a lot of bodywork change. We'll get into that later on this episode. But yeah, I think that is one of the reasons why this car looks so much better and so much different than its predecessor. So yeah, it's one good looking car, and yeah, I hope to they perform exactly the same on track too. What about you, Akshat?
Uh, yeah, exactly. That was I was gonna say that the livery is good. The driver lineup is good. They have the most experienced driver. Kimi Raikkonen
The
Kimi All
is
Star.
in.
the Iceman.
Yeah. Kimi the Iceman. So,
The Iceman.
they
Yeah.
have, yeah. So they have a good driver lineup. Let's hope that they perform the way they have things. They have all the things. Let's hope they perform. Last time, Kimi Raikkonen actually performed great. In 2020
Exactly.
season. Yeah, he was performing very, very great. So I hope that this season we get to see those things too. So what about you, Paji? I think there's no much to say about it.
Exactly. Just on this note, just remembering the lap that Kimi Raikkonen had
Yeah.
from P16 to P6, I guess.
He-
It was
P6 or
Yeah, yeah,
P7.
yeah.
Portimao, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Portimao.
What if
Yeah, I
if,
think Portimao.
if anyone remember the post race interview, he wasn't knowing that what every driver was doing, and he's just passing by
what?
all
In
the
fact,
drivers down
he
there.
was on the radio saying, "What are these guys doing?" Have-
Exactly. Even on the radio, I guess.
yeah,
He's always like that. He's always like that. If you combine all of his radio conversation, you'll only
Where
think
is
like,
the
what are the
steering
guys doing?
wheel? Where is the
What are the
steering wheel and glove? What are they doing? Ah,
you won't
amazing.
have the
these
drink.
are the
You
common,
won't have the drink.
he always, yeah.
In a nutshell, fun was had.
Yeah, I mean this is the reason why fans love Kimi Raikkonen so much. I mean, he brings banter to the sport without knowing that he is bringing that.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, this is the most precious and most funny thing in Formula One these days. Kimi Raikkonen.
And I don't think anyone wants to anyone wants that Kimi Raikkonen leaves Formula One
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. They want Kimi Raikkonen in motorsport, always, till he dies.
Even if it is in 70s, he definitely wants them into a driver lineup again and again and again.
Exactly.
You never know. One day, some random team would have drivers lined up, say Kimi Raikkonen and Robin Raikkonen. You never know. The father
Yeah,
of you might.
you never
Exactly.
know.
You never know with Kimi, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
next is Alpha Tauri. Paji, what do you think about Alpha Tauri?
Alpha Tauri, better car with the best driver lineup so far. At the same time, livery could have been better if they just if they just reverse card the livery. What I think is that because the darker side is like much downsizing the car over there.
Right.
Apart from this, Pierre Gasly, we know, amazing. Italy 2020,
Monza. Yeah.
amazing season for him.
Race.
And apart from this, Yuki Tsunoda, a young driver from Red Bull Racing, again a Formula 2 contender. He's a great, but currently he's a meme material as of now in Formula 1 culture for no height shaming.
Yeah. I can definitely feel that, I mean, the funny thing here is, once I saw a meme where they had literally mentioned Yuki's height, and the irony here is he and me, we are exactly the same height, man. I mean, even the point decimal centimeters too, we are exactly the same height. I mean, you can
So
see,
what you are trying to say that you wanna drive AlphaTauri?
yeah, one day for sure, if given the
That
chance.
you wanna say? What are you?
Just getting down to a
Yeah,
bit technicality. Just getting down to a bit technicality.
Yeah,
Whenever a Formula car or a survival cell for a Formula car is being designed, they have a 95th percentile for it. A certain
Yeah.
height and a certain weight for a specific driver. Yuki Tsunoda is totally non-clarifying it, and for the same, Alpha Tauri engineers have to work on center of gravity more than their predecessor vehicles, and for the same with the Pirelli Gasly. So there might be a bit odds and gods between both the vehicles and their performance as well, according to the center of gravity. So let's see. It depends on the racing only.
as
We
for me,
can just spot that. We can just spot that on the weekends.
exactly. As for me, I think
Yes.
it is a more good-looking car than its predecessor. Obviously, the same
Yeah.
thing that happened in Alfa Romeo, which was a bit dampened by more dominant white. Obviously, that has been removed
Exactly.
from Alpha Tauri, this year's Alpha Tauri as well. And yeah, that is a good car. Obviously, it is a bit on the darker side. A bit
Yeah.
lighter shade would have gone along very good. And another thing which I would like to point out is if you look at the driver suits, I think don't you think that it is designed in a hurry or something? It looks incomplete, especially on Yuki, who is already a bit on shorter side. It looks so incomplete on him. His overalls just stand out from the crowd. And there is an image that uh, there's Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, and then Yuki Tsunoda. I mean, it is his suit is looking totally weird. I mean, it is looking photoshopped. So last year's driver suit
Indeed.
was a lot better. I think they have done a good thing with livery, but they have played a reverse Uno card on their driver's suit. So that's my
You
take.
know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But what I think that the point you said that Alpha Tauri's livery is actually good. I got it. They try to go retro a little bit. What I feel is,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
yeah, it feels retro car. If you look at you zoom in the car and you do look the details, it actually looked like a retro car. And when you talk about the driver's suits, so what they do, they try to do the exactly same thing to their suits too.
Mhm.
The way they design the livery of the car, they would try to design the same thing. It definitely looks like it's incomplete especially on Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it actually looks great. It's actually better than Ferrari, I guess.
Oh, don't get me started on that, man.
Uh,
That point's taken us to the Ferrari.
Ooh.
So Ferrari. So once you started talking, so let's talk more about Ferrari. No, you have to talk about it. So let's talk. What do you think about Ferrari?
You know, I think you Akshat knows exactly how to butcher a guy who has started watching Formula One due to Scuderia. I mean, Ferrari holds a special place in every Formula One fan's heart, you know.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
and seeing that scarlet red car on track gives you goosebumps. And suddenly there is a hint of green on the car, and that too a Mission Win Now logo. I mean,
Exactly.
when they released their render on their website, first there was wheels, there was side pod, front wing, and suddenly when they turned to engine cover, I mean, what the hell is this? What is that doing there? So first, what I thought was it might be some kind of glitch on their website or something wrong with my eye. You know, it was so hard to believe. I mean, they have gone with such a beautiful concept that they have a darker shade to the rear of the car, tributing older gen cars, and all of a sudden there is this monstrous looking green, which is so uneasy on the eye on the engine cover. So I was
Exactly.
really hoping that I will get to see something else on Instagram or from Formula One side, but no, I was, I won't say disappointed. I could never really say so about Ferrari, although their performance disagrees with me. But I think they could have done a lot better. From my side, it is 4 out of 10 as far as delivery is concerned.
Uh, on that point, you said you're not disappointed. Everyone is not disappointed. They are just, they don't like it. They are on
Yeah,
face, they don't like it. They are,
it isn't grasping from thought, I guess. The correct word would
uh,
be it isn't grasping from thought because till
actually,
2019, seeing Ferrari each and every time on podium and back when you come down to Italy also getting
yeah,
seeing the Ferrari at lower than P15, P18, that didn't
That hurts.
grasp under the
That
thought.
hurts. I think
what they do is they are
that
focusing more on their Mission Win Now campaign rather than focusing on their
Exactly,
strategies.
exactly.
they are more
If
into
they,
advertising side these days. In fact, if you even see Lewis Hamilton, he was also shocked to see a double DNF Ferrari at
yeah,
Monza.
exactly. It's
Exactly.
quite a long time we have seen double DNF from Ferrari.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Ferrari perform like this in a quite long time.
The double
And
DNF
after
being
seeing,
that far, you're forgetting Brazil 2020. I mean, double DNF, leaving that apart, but double DNF in Monza, that has to hit different. Monza,
in your home, you're
yeah,
exactly.
Monza is a very special place for every Tifosi. You cannot deny it. So
Yeah.
performing that bad in Italy is has got to hurt.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But
So
for this season, hope for the best that Carlos Sainz, one of my favorite drivers, is in. I'll be seeing him in red.
Yeah.
And according to the analytics from preseason testing, it seems to be contending in mid teams as far as. Let's hope for the best. Nothing more can be said for it,
Exactly. Exactly.
because by the time we won't be seeing machines uh, getting down onto the weekends, we can't expect results, or we can't just throw results away from it. You know.
Exactly.
Let's hope for the best. Let's see how it goes.
Exactly. So moving on to the Renault
oh,
change to Alpine.
that is the most
Yeah.
Alonso coming back.
livery of the
So
Fernando
Vanshil
Alonso is back.
is quite excited about it. So let's start with Vanshil. So go ahead, Vanshil. What do you want to say about Alpine?
I mean, they released a render first, which was black, you know,
Yeah.
black, white, and red. So they did
Yeah.
nothing. I think mostly what they did is they replaced black from blue. So that was my first thought. Okay, so they are just replaced blue. I mean, cut paste sort of thing. But then when as soon as I slid the photo, the first was the side view. So that wasn't
Yeah.
promising. And the second image with lighting effects and all sort of all those sort of
The
edit.
glossy effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like,
The matte
damn,
gloss,
that
not the
car is
gloss, the
good,
matte
Yeah,
gloss.
actually mad gloss, mad gloss.
man.
Yeah.
That car looks so awesome. I mean, studios is one thing. I was watching preseason testing, and it was a night session. To be very precise, it was a night
Oh,
session, and it was the turn 10 hairpin.
yeah.
As soon as the car went around that corner, man, that car looked awesome with all the lights reflecting all over the bodywork, and also there was a bit of lockup, so smoke adding to the beauty of the car. And cherry on the cake, Sky Sports played that shot in slow motion.
It,
So can you
promotion.
imagine
Yeah.
how that
Oh
car
my
was
God.
looking
That's
at the start of
amazing.
the
That's
night?
amazing.
So what do you think about delivery, Akshat?
Yeah. So if you talk about me, so I like actually the best livery of 2021 is Alpine for me actually. Okay. As Vanshil, you said that they launched the first concept livery of black, red, and white. People compared it with toothpaste. You remember if there was a meme, actually many memes were made on that.
Not not
They
not
were
just not just Alpine, not just Alpine. I think
Haas, of
around,
Haas too.
if 10 cars is there, if 10 cars are there,
yeah,
then they are
exactly.
going to compare it with the toothpaste for like 6 to 7 cars. Definitely.
Exactly. But and as I was saying that they compared it to toothpaste, but actually I like the black one too. The black one was actually better.
That was
And
also
this blue matte gloss is is
This is
ravishing
the
actually.
same case,
It's
Akshat. This is
actually
the same
beauty,
case
pure
with Red
beauty.
Bull. This is the same case with Red Bull when Red Bull used to launch their concept
Concept
camouflage
libraries,
libraries.
camouflage, and yeah, the
The
blue, the blue Taurus library,
blue with the
where
black in
red,
back in 2018, I guess, and blue with red in 19.
mm,
where yeah.
yeah, Red
So
Bull
that's the
known
thing.
for
Yeah,
this kind.
actually, every team is going to launch their concept library. Even Alfa Romeo did that last year. That
Yeah,
Alfa Romeo did that.
Cards.
So they do that. But actually, I was thinking, this blue one is quite much better than the black one.
Mhm.
Quite actually,
especially in the
it's like a
lights.
ravishing. Yeah, it's ravishing beautiful. It's actually way much better than the black one. So yeah, I love this, right? And they have a legend in their team. So let's hope for the best that they do the same thing with their points. Last time they couldn't make it to top three.
Yeah.
They managed to top five, but they couldn't make it to top three. So let's hope that thing change this time.
So
Exactly.
So what about you, Paji?
this brings
Uh,
What do you think?
for me,
this brings us
What were you saying, Vansh?
most fan awaited team. But Paji, do
Yeah,
you want to share anything about Alpine? Paji can never
I
have
think
a lot of Alpine. He's such a uh, fan struck by that livery. Paji can keep on and on blabbing about that livery all day long.
exactly.
See, I won't get down to the total designing and inspiration part, but when we consider Alpine in motorsports, they are persistent and they have been doing all these activities, motorsport
Yeah,
activities, not in Formula One, but when it comes to world endurance racing and
well,
each and
yeah,
everything, they are consistent and they're good at it, really good at it. So getting down to Formula One, I am expecting much from them. And just to getting off topic, have you guys seen the LMP concept of Alpine? They have just recently launched for 24 hours.
I didn't see it officially, but there was a meme, obviously, which came across, and that Olympic car also looks sick. That is a good looking car.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly,
That's the
yeah.
point. And from those 60 cars, when the 24-hour Le Mans, they was building their poster, they have selected one of their cars.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So I guess this brings us to one of the most awaited teams that fans are hoping that would do good this year. That's none other than Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel
Yeah.
is finally in a car that has a Mercedes PU. So a lot of hope riding on him. So what do you think about its livery, Fuzzy?
For Aston Martin Levely, that was totally expected that green is going to be there, and I'm just hoping the green is famous for Hulk, and Hulk is powerful.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm just expecting the same thing from them
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, that
I'm
was
just
a great
expecting the same
point.
thing from them. And just for a meme material, British colonization is happening in India again.
Ah,
If you get it, if you get it,
and uh, in their concepts, there was Aston Martin green along with their British green. So, and
yeah,
I think they have replaced it with BWT pink at very last moment. I guess I'm
exactly,
not sure
exactly.
about it, but there are a lot of conspiracy theory surrounding this topic. But I do
And the
feel that
pinstripe inspired from Mercedes again. I don't know how much they're going to copy from it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, why don't they order, Ring Toto Wolf? Hey, buddy, can you provide me two W12
pack a W10 for me, please.
and paint it in green?
Exactly.
I mean, the car looks
Exactly.
awesome. Car looks awesome, but I think Stroll guys did a trickery over here. If you see, BWT is sponsored to the whole team, but it is like owner's
Exactly.
son gets a better helmet and Sebastian is stick with that pink junk. I mean, we shouldn't say about this about some sponsor.
It's not a pink junk, but actually, when we talk about the driver helmets, we all know that the helmet at which the driver starts the season never ends the season at the same helmet. If you know it,
It has
they
to be glittery
apart
gold
apart from their racing, they invest more onto their helmets.
You talked about the controversy of BWT coming in the end of the livery revelation. So
Mhm.
actually, the story is like that. If that's what I heard and that's what I read from some websites, they said that the BW has BWT has made Sebastian Vettel their main,
Brand
main brand
ambassador.
ambassador.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that too.
that's
yeah,
why Aston Martin took BWT back again,
Mhm.
and that's why Sebastian Vettel is stuck with that pink helmet,
Yeah. I
and yeah,
they
Stroll got that beautiful green helmet. But although Sebastian Vettel's designer said that this is not the only helmet he's going to use in the future races,
exactly.
so we hope that he gets some bit. They can add BWT. As he's a brand ambassador, he has to promote in there is a contract there and something like that. So he
Yeah,
has to promote all those things. But I hope that they can do something differently rather than just adding whole pink helmet.
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
I guess
yeah. So that
when Aston Martin announced that they have a brand new title sponsor in Cognizant. Pardon me if I'm
cognizant.
pronouncing it wrong. That is
Cognizant. Yeah, it's correct. Cognizant. Yeah.
it is a very weird spelling. So I was happy that they have dropped BWT, and I had to read Cognizant thrice to get it correct. I mean, What kind of name is that for a company? I mean, I had never heard of it before, but yeah, it is.
Actually one of the biggest company in the world, you know.
Sorry.
It's actually
Yep.
one of
Yep.
it's actually the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, I had no idea about.
So yeah, but that's why they, you know, that's why companies aren't take over Aston Martin team and they try to, you know, take over from going from BW to Cognizant because they probably have better, you know, in, you know,
Backing.
they can provide better in money and
Backing,
everything.
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
in marketing and everything, you know. So that's why they actually, I think that's why they chose Cognizant over BWT, and BWT's contract was expiring,
Mm-hmm.
and BWT wanted to, you know, stay in Formula One, so they had to think something to stay in the Formula One. So that's why they, I think, they
Yeah.
chose Sebastian Vettel, a legend, a goat, and a legend to, you know, be
Exactly.
the brand ambassador.
Exactly.
So Aston Martin cannot deny that your team driver, you know, their main driver is a brand ambassador. You have to put our name on your livery. That's why I think they, you know, did the pink strip.
I personally think that whole PWT thing was the final nail in the coffin by Mr. Malia himself. You know, the king of the good times, so called. I think before leaving the team in middle of nowhere, right in middle of Formula One season, the way he left, I think BWT sponsorship and painting the cars pink was the worst possible end to the Vijay Mallya saga in Formula One. From my side, from my perspective.
Yeah,
That's why I told
poor
you
India
British
taken over by
colonization back in India again.
yeah. I get we
Exactly.
all got that. Yeah,
I guess this brings us
Well, in a
to
nutshell, yeah, it has been more than 40 years for Aston Martin. Hope for the best that how they perform.
exactly.
We'll be
yeah.
seeing green on the track again. That's the
Just
major
like, you know,
part.
just like Renault, they also couldn't make it to top three. You know, just you know, missed by a turn or missed by a
It
single overtake.
a
You know,
whole string of bad luck upon Racing Point, towards the end. Perez
yeah.
retiring and they had
Yeah,
to say,
Perez is retiring in
"Oh,
Yas Marina. Yeah.
yeah. When Perez won the Sakir Grand Prix, I mean, I was over the moon, man. That man deserved the
No, yeah.
deserved.
From and
Exactly.
that too going from P18 to
Yeah,
P1.
that and involving he was involved in an accident with none other than Max
Yeah.
Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly.
On
That's why he
that
had to
one,
pit and he gone to P18.
yeah, I mean that has to play a big role in the race on his mind, and you know that changes perspectives for different drivers. It it
Yeah,
takes a lot
exactly.
of character to come back from that sort of incident to winning a race, and that too
Yeah,
in
exactly.
a sort of a midfield team. If you put all the pink Mercedes thing aside
Yes.
for a moment, but still it wasn't as good as that. And being a midfield team and also overlooking the Mercedes screw up in that race, also
Exactly. I was gonna say that we have to give some credit to the Mercedes blunder, you know,
yeah, turning a
that
blind eye to that, turning a blind eye to that, and yeah, but that was a factor, no doubt. But you have to be in that position to capitalize on that. Sergio Perez was
exactly,
putting in the effort, so I think he deserved to win.
exactly. He deserved to win. And after 190 races, you know, winning actually tastes more sweeter than everything.
Yeah, it has to, man. It has to, and
Yeah.
I
It
think
and
this.
after, you know, after knowing that this is your last season with BWT Racing Point, you know,
He had a
he
lot.
knew that it is his last season with Racing Point. And there was talking that he actually, I thought that he actually knew that he is going to go on Red Bull because before that, Red Bull was talking to Sergio Perez. There were rumors that
Mhm,
since the mid-season of the 2020, Red Bull is eyeing on a different driver than Alex Albon,
mhm.
but they were giving chance to Alex Albon, and then Sergio Perez did some amazing thing in Saki, and that changed it actually. That I thought that
Exactly.
was a turning point
Yes.
for Sergio Perez.
exactly.
That did the thing, and
It plays a different
that gave
role
him the seat
in
at Red Bull.
it plays a different role in drivers' confidence, which is very important these days on the grid. And I think that brings us to none other than McLaren, who
McLaren, yeah,
outscored Racing Point last season to,
and just barely by 7 points.
yeah. So
Not much, but just 7 points.
this is the sort of fairy tale that every team dreams of. Back in Honda partnership, they were struggling so bad, and with Fernando on the wheel, going all sarcastic on the radio, saying this is the GP2 engine, we might as well park it and go home, and you know
Yeah,
have we left the engine back at base? From going from all that to this, with such a amazing lineup in Lando and Carlos, and having such a good season with two podiums, it has to be
Exactly.
they deserved the third place. So let's talk about their livery this year, if it's what they call it. What are your thoughts on it, Akshat?
they call it MLC 35M, yeah,
M.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, M. Specifically, they put that M for that Mercedes engine, the Mercedes.
yeah. From their Mercedes
And
partnership.
that's- yeah, Mercedes partnership. Let's hope that they are, although they are missing a Mercedes logo in their livery, we all feel that they got that, the main heart of the car they got from Mercedes, and still they haven't
But
put a Mercedes
actually,
logo on the
there is
livery.
a reason. There is a reason between this. I think most of the fans or the people following the sport know this. There hasn't been any commercial or advertising contract between Mercedes and McLaren like it was back in the day when Lewis Hamilton was driving for them, or the logo that they had in their
Yeah,
previous partnership. So they have just their PUD in place. They don't have any advertising contract on the table. So that's the reason why they don't have Mercedes logo. And trust me, McLaren was the first car launch of 2021. I was zooming all over the place to spot at least one Mercedes logo on the car.
Mercedes logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I couldn't find any. This is the reason behind it. They don't have any commercial agreements in place.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that they don't have a commercial contract right now. They just actually only. I think this Mercedes part is only for one season. I think if I
Uh,
know it
I
correctly or
don't
I
know
don't know. I really
exactly, but
don't know.
I think it could result in a multi-year deal if McLaren Mercedes.
Right now is only for Right now it's only for the 2021 season, right? I mean, I don't think they have signed a multi-year contract or right now. I haven't heard
Of course, there is a
that
big
kind of thing.
regulation change coming up for 2022, so they also have to.
In 2022, there are regulation changes and everything, but
Yeah.
right now, just so they focused on and then, yeah, branding that M 35M
Mhm.
MLC 35M. So
So
their library is quite simple. They haven't done too much things. They made just some
if at
quite
all,
little bit changes.
what are your thoughts on it, Paji?
McLaren has always has a special place in my heart when it comes to a dedicated team and dedicated car.
It has
For
a
the
place in everyone's heart. Remember that.
exactly,
McLaren
just
and
fought a hater
Ferrari.
for it. There are no haters, I
Exactly,
guess.
exactly, exactly. These two teams will always stay in everybody's heart. McLaren and Ferrari. And now Mercedes, craving, grinding and doing everything to get into everyone's heart too. So yeah, yeah, go ahead. Say what you were saying.
So when it all comes to rivalries, I'm happy with it. It's close to similar than the predecessor, but predecessor was also good. Driver suits, okay, kudos to it. But when it comes to team and driver lineup, I'm definitely very much excited on the grid and off the
Yeah.
grid as well. Because the duo of Lando and Ricardo, everyone was hoping for this duo. I'm telling you.
Honey Badger
When,
and the
when,
meme
when they
lord.
saw the when they saw the so-called bro code between Science and Lando, everyone was like they want to see the same bro code with Daniel and
Lando,
Lando as well.
right?
So just pretty good. Let's uh, la- according to the preseason testing as well, Ricardo is also feeling comfortable with the car. So it's going to be a good season for him as well.
I mean,
And Lando is
Yeah.
when
famous king.
when I look at Daniel Ricciardo, he came in as a hot property as much as Max Verstappen is currently in F1. Everyone looked at him like a champion in the waiting. In his first season at Red Bull, he outscored four-time world champion, defending world champion Sebastian Vettel, and when he switched teams, there was a you know a dim murmur that he was Sebastian was running from a fight from Daniel Ricciardo, and that exact thing ironically came back to Daniel Ricciardo, that he was running from a fight with Max Verstappen when he
Max Verstappen. Yeah.
so his career is filled with various highs and lows, and not to mention ironies like this. So I think that McLaren, looking at the McLaren's performance last year, which was so good with her Renault power unit, uh, having a Mercedes power unit on back of that car would, if what we fans think it could do, and if it does on track, and they can push for podiums along with Mercedes and Red Bull, Daniel Rick could have a very memorable season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adding more
He
onto
could
Danny
have.
Rick before adding more onto Danny Rick before this video link shoot, I was just getting down to some Instagram reels and I saw 2017 Baku Turn One, just start of the race. If
Oh,
you guys
Yeah.
remember,
so
he
late
took
on the break, man.
he gained three positions, overtaking two Mercedes, and I don't know the third car. The turn one,
Was he Paris? Was he Paris? I think he was on podium only.
I'm not very much sure, but there were two Mercedes, two Silver Arrows, and there was another car. He gained from P7 to P4 in just a single turn with his late braking.
Man, he is
Yeah.
an
Exactly.
extremely talented driver.
Yeah. Exactly. He's extremely talented. Yeah. He's being just like he's too much underrated right now. I feel like that. He
But
hasn't
he's
gone with.
always in the limelight. He's always in the limelight because of his charming smile.
Yeah, Netflix
That
Yeah.
positivity
Exactly.
that positivity blasts from him.
the Netflix guys loves him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. uh, from that point, let's go ahead and we'll talk about Red Bull. His Ricardo's previous team.
Previous
Yeah,
seasons.
back
Yeah.
to the roots,
Yeah.
back to this. I mean, about the livery, I don't think there is anything to talk about. It has been the same since what,
There is.
16?
There is. Just put Aston Martin, bro. Just put Aston Martin on it.
Yeah, that was
It
Cross
has been replaced by Honda.
Yes, Honda.
Yeah. So
Bingo.
yeah,
That's a new library for you.
I,
yeah, is it-
you can find it on Photoshop for beginners, I guess.
yeah. cut, cut the Aston Martin, cut the Aston Martin logo, put the Honda logo. That's
I
it.
mean, that was the thing which I used to do in my early Photoshop days. Uh, I've got a mail Red Bull, you guys still have my payment pending because I gave you the suggestion for your 2021 livery with crop and paste ideas. Uh, Pardon my bad joke. Yeah, but moving on to the driver lineups, I think it is one of the, if not the most, one of the strongest lineups this season in Checo
You
Perez.
can say one
That
of the
is.
most strongest into
Verstappen.
2021 season.
Yeah, I mean,
You
Yeah.
can say that.
Perez
It's
had
Yeah.
gonna be amazing watching Perez versus Verstappen too. You know?
yeah, that
The
thing is
team library.
boil over. That thing has to boil over. But I think that Sergio Perez has waited so long to get into a contestant seat, which he has finally got into Red Bull. And the thing is, he has placed uh, alongside Max Verstappen, who is this beast of a driver in tremendous form since last year, and he would be coming on back of a win from Abu Dhabi last year, and he challenged Mercedes. And not to forget,
Yeah.
even
Exactly.
Albon was on to that fight. In last laps, he was pressurizing none other than Lewis Hamilton. Again, happy
Yeah.
with your
Yeah.
face. But yeah, he was challenging Lewis Hamilton. So that goes without saying that Red Bull are strong coming this year. So I would be very glad to know your thoughts on this, guys.
Yeah. So
Let's not
as
talk
you
about.
said,
Let's not
well,
talk about Verstappen's personal life.
True.
Sad Danny noises.
nah, yeah, we
If you look,
can't, we
if you
can't
look
talk
out of
about
the
it.
window right now, if you look out of the window right now, there might be a tornado floating around.
No, because when just 2020 season got off, the major controversy came between Verstappen. We don't want to discuss onto it. Let's get back onto the topic.
We will discuss in the
I don't
when we
want
talk
this
about
episode to
drivers.
be
Wait for it, Paji. Wait for it. We have to discuss about drivers too. Let's just stick on the vehicle right now. Let's stick on the car.
Yeah,
Let's stick on their livery, their performance. Hold your horses. We have to wait for it. We will be on it. Oh yeah. So I was talking
talking
just
about
like Vanshul, you
cars.
said that
Talking
there is.
about car, Red Bull is persistent. Red Bull is reliable. Red Bull has some sort
Definitely.
of pit masters who
Mhm.
can do the pit stop in 1.8 seconds. Red Bull has that sort of a team crew who can fix a total wishbone and suspension setup in just 10
Yeah,
minutes.
10 minutes
So,
exactly.
uh,
Good.
in a
Well,
nutshell, when we talk about Red Bull, they are contender for the podium and they reserve a seat on the podium. Nothing more. We are expecting the same performance from that as well, but expecting a second or a first position, we can say.
We'll probably see that. I
Yeah,
think that this time the championship is not gonna be that easy.
mhm.
Constructor
exactly.
championship is going to be hard this time. I don't think
Yeah,
Mercedes will win that easily this time because I think that Alpha Tauri is showing so much, brave performance.
Mhm.
Because Red Bull is coming like a hot, Taurus, literally leaving everyone behind in testing too. So I think they are
yeah,
They have some blistering
so
pace right now. So that goes
yeah, so
without saying. And if we look back, so last season, I don't think that apart from Red Bull, well, not Red Bull, apart from Max Verstappen, Mercedes had anyone else to challenge them. Albon had so much pressure on his shoulder, and I also think that the car was more suited to Verstappen's driving style, so that was one of the contributing reasons. Perez is adjusting so well in that Red Bull because he has so much experience along with him, and Albon had what I think 11 or 12 races in Formula One, and he was placed in such a tremendous pressure kind of seat, none other than Red Bull under Helmut Marko and Adrian Newey, Christian Horner, some of the big names in Formula One.
yeah.
So that is something comes along with a lot of pressure. So I think Albon was given to what should we say, less opportunities to prove himself. But let's see.
And yeah, exactly. Everyone was thinking that the Red Bull was going to give second chance to Albon. They were gonna because if Red Bull Mexico haven't tweeted that wait for the announcement, something like that. They tweeted that and they gave it away that Perez is finalized. Otherwise nobody thought that. People actually knew that Perez was in the list. People actually thought that Perez would be reserve driver rather than the main, lineup. But as I said, the Red Bull Mexico gave it away by tweeting it. Just wait for it and something like they tweeted something like that and that gave it away.
Mhm.
So I actually feel bad for Alex Albon, and after being under so much pressure and still performing, he was performing good. It wasn't like that he was performing bad. The car was bad for him.
Mhm.
He wasn't able to,
Adjust.
get familiar with the car and yeah, adjust to it. So that was that about Red Bull. And as we say that it is the only team who's been giving hell to Mercedes. So let's move on to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Hail Hamilton,
So
hail Hamilton, hail Hamilton.
Here Hamilton. Let's talk about him. Paji, you've been you are saying you've been excited about it. So let's talk about it.
Not excited, but I everyone hates Hamilton. I don't know why. Most of them, not everyone, but
Yeah,
he has some sort of audacity, and he has proven himself a lot of times. A lot of times. If you remember USGP, the first
yeah,
USGP of 2020, driving at three wheels. No doubt, Alonso has driven on two wheels, but driving at three wheels and defending Red Bull at the same time, knowing that Verstappen is also pushing onto him and completing at P1, that's tremendous. Holding that sort of pressure, holding that sort of commitment to your work is totally amazing, seriously.
yeah.
And considering that thing, Hamilton has proven himself a lot of times. He is a godfather in Formula One as of now in our generation, and
Exactly.
we all are knowing that he has placed his value and his name on the Hall of Fame of Formula One.
Exactly. I mean,
Exactly. So exactly, and if you talk about the livery, the main part you forgot, which was livery. Many people, even I remember it correctly. I wasn't going to point out that, but I think I should. It will be fun. It's not about criticizing Matt from the WTF one. He said that he didn't like it. He,
he
he
got some
doesn't
stick
like the.
from Mercedes admin.
And then Mercedes admin posted a tweet that five RTs and I will post the W12 content. So in reply, Matt said that 10,000 something like 10,000 RTs and you have to post the livery you haven't showed us. And Mercedes pointed out the Matt's tweet about personally not a, his tweet was personally not a fan of the new Merc. Think the last one looked much sleeker. So Mercedes pointed out that tweet and said it's too late for that now, Matt, and a kissing emoji. And then Matt said, "Sorry, my my account was hacked. I swear." That was Mercedes admin is out of this world.
He is a savage guy. Seriously, savage guy.
He is a
Exactly.
savage guy.
Exactly.
You cannot compete with him. Last time
Yeah.
the Racing Point won the social media championship, but I think it was because Mercedes admin was not that active. I think that, but I don't think this time it will happen.
Yeah.
I think I already seeing this savageness. In his tweets and everything. And come to livery, I actually like the Mercedes livery.
Hmm.
The grayish part at the end, the red numbers 44 and 77, and the light bluish cyan type color. It actually looks better. It actually lights up the car in
Yeah.
that black Merc car. So I actually liked it. And you talk about driver lineup, so it is the best
Consistent
lineup right
lineup.
now. The consistent, the best lineup right now. The only lineup that Mercedes can rely on right now.
Hmm.
And if you talk about the Bottas, the unfiltered Bottas, he's been so underrated right now. I feel like that
He
the
has a lot
same
of
thing that happened, yeah, he's been going through the same pressure that Albon is gone through. I
Mhm.
feel like that. He has, and plus he has so much potential in him. Bottas has so much potential.
Just
Since he joined
imagine
Mercedes,
getting onto podium again and again and again, but not winning.
exactly. He's been and in practice always been the fast.
Exactly.
And that's
He
P1
is
fastest,
never,
P2 fastest,
the
P3 fastest
yeah,
qualified.
P3 fast.
Okay.
Exactly. So in qualifying,
Qualifier
Yeah,
even in this qualifier one fastest, qualifier two fastest,
two
qualifier three,
fastest.
and
boom.
Qualifier 3 Hamilton
qualifier
shows
three
his
Hamilton. Okay,
original
I'll
colors.
just take up this.
Hamilton shows that chill out. I'm still here. Hamilton be like, yo, chill out. I'm still here. You can't win this like that. You can't win it like that. You cannot take it away from me. So, he takes it away, but still, Bottas showed a lot of potential.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
people were saying that Bottas should be replaced by Russell, George Russell, and I thought it's not a great thing to replace Bottas right now. He is much younger than Hamilton right now, and he has so much to prove. So that's it from me. So, Vanchal, you have to add something about it?
Exactly. More on to Lewis Hamilton, as Paji mentioned that he gets a lot of stick from the followers of Formula One. Me being, I started watching Formula One towards the end of 2007. I butchered the year in the trailer video. I said 2000, and I would have been like what 5 to 6 months old at that time to be starting watching Formula One. But yeah, I started watching towards the end of 2007 season. Obviously, Kimi Raikkonen won and the red car won. That's why I'm such a like Ferrari fan. And I was obviously hoping that in 2008 Ferrari would win again, which actually happened for what 10 seconds, ironically, in Massa. But yeah, so I saw my first ever season, which was won by Lewis Hamilton, and the season before he lost by a single point to none other than
Mm.
Kimi Raikkonen. So that shows the presence on track that guy has. And if we talk about his time in Mercedes, he was replacing the god of Formula One himself,
Yeah,
Schumacher.
Marker.
That in itself is a pretty big feat, and he was boxed against his childhood rival in Nico Rosberg, which which would go down as one of, if not the greatest rivalries in history of Formula One. And he outscored him for 2 seasons in a row before
Yeah,
Rosberg got better of him. And since then, I think he has been absolutely ruthless, whether it be it's his on-track performance, off-track performance, mind games here and there, and having that kind of pressure, he added that pressure on Valtteri. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
having the same car under his, so I mean, you have to be in that position, to win 7 world titles and probably gunning for an eighth this year. So
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton is
and as you talked about, replacing Schumacher, so he is the only one. Schumacher is the only one who said that I feel my record is going to be broken, and
yeah,
is going to be broken by two people, Sebastian Vettel, either Sebastian Vettel or either Lewis Hamilton. And he
exactly.
said that in that interview that I see so much potential in you, Lewis Hamilton, and I feel that, and he said I hope that he breaks my. So Hamilton actually did that. He broke most win record, he most podiums record, most world championship record is going to be broken. I think this time.
Exactly,
Let's
exactly.
see.
Yeah. So now that brings us towards the end of the podcast. We would now quickly discuss what's new with the cars this season,
Yeah,
and then we'll close it up with our predictions. So let's see what's
yeah.
new with the new 2021 cars. So they have FIA.
Before we get into the new 2021 car, Vanchil, I have a
Okay,
question to ask you.
okay, okay.
I know that Paji know that, but many of our viewers and many of the F1 fans doesn't know
Mhm.
there's a new token system, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They introduced token system.
Mhm.
So let's just some talk about little bit about that and tell what is actually all about. And it's not actually a new system. It's been actually been before in previous seasons too, but they actually bring back the token system again. So Vanshul,
So this basically limits team's ability to develop any part on the car, right? As we all know that COVID has been very harsh on a lot of teams, especially on the financial side. So FIA has introduced this as a countermeasure that teams don't bite more than they could chew. So I think that's the main reason they have introduced this. So each team is given 2 tokens which they have to utilize in designing parts of their cars. And say, for example, if a team needs to change their rear suspension, then they would have to spend 2 of their tokens, leaving them with no more in the stock. And if they want to change anything on the front wing, they would have to spend one more. So on and on. So this is what the token system looks like with 2021 cars, and all the teams have to cope with them.
Yeah, so and to add with the in adding that this system doesn't contain every part. There are actually you can spend one token on some parts, and you have to spend two tokens on other parts. There are major parts like the front floor, then power unit, then suspension system both, and all those you have to spend two tokens, and some parts you have to spend one token. So the teams can use the same token for the two different parts, and they can use the same part again and again twice. Again, FIA has FIA has released that if the tokens are all used, they don't have any extra tokens, so they can get back to the previous changes they made.
Hmm.
The last season's changes.
Mhm.
So if right now there's a McLaren change to power unit to Mercedes, and slightly they without people knowing they changed their rear suspension as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
So
was just
without people knowing,
going to draw McLaren first because they have been very cheeky
uh,
and developing
yeah,
the car under the noses of FIA. Obviously, that is very legal. They have gone through a lot of scrutiny from FIA before getting approval at the FIA seal of approval. But another team which has absolutely shocked fans is Haas. They have spent no tokens, nothing. They have just carried on the last year's car and diverted all their resources to the new 2022 contender with whole new regulations. Also, they have a whole rookie lineup sorry, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. So that would also get them up to the paces in their rookie season. And other than that, Mercedes, they got rid of the DAS. So that's the
yeah, that's become.
biggest talking point of 2021 season. And
Yeah, about this, I
It
think
was
Paji would
decided
be
back
able
in
to
2020, I
share more
guess.
about it.
It was decided back in 2020, I guess, that FIA
it
is going to
happened.
approve it for this season only,
Right?
but for next season they have to remove it.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
this brings me to comparison for 2021 changes between Red Bull and Mercedes. I don't think that a lot of people know that Mercedes and Red Bull have absolutely opposite rake setup. A rake is the inclination of car from the ground, right, in the rear.
Yeah.
So the floor has been trimmed from the rear. So
Rear one.
what happens is that you know kind of stalls the airflow underneath the car. So lower the rake is, the more airflow would be stalled going to the rear of the car. And I think ted ted from the Sky Sports pointed it out that that is what's making current Merc so unstable, and that's why Red Bull is so fast. They have a higher rake,
Yeah,
lower wheelbase. That is the distance between your front and rear axles. So that's the secret behind Red Bull's pace. And if
and I actually think McLaren,
Mercedes could
yeah,
be in big trouble.
yeah, and I actually think that McLaren tried to do that too. I think they changed the diffuser too, right?
Yeah,
They
diffuser is
changed the.
regulation. Each and every team had to adjust.
No, I'm not saying that they are not in regulation. I'm saying that they try to do that what Red Bull has done.
Exactly,
Yeah, right. Exactly. They try to do that, but still they haven't achieved that yet. Yet, I hope that it's yet, not every time. Yeah. So
In a
going
nutshell,
forward,
if we consider the major changes, Arrow package has the major drastic change. If we have to talk, Arrow package has the drastic changes in the rule book.
Mhm.
yeah,
The narrow trim, as we discussed, the airflow totally has been changed. Different temps, everything is totally different than the predecessor season. Let's hope for the best, and let's see how the team has gone so far.
Yeah, and to add up to that arrow changes, you said that when the token system was introduced, then Alpha Tauri's technical chief, Jody Egginton, I think. I am sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. He said that the whatever you do, aerodynamic development is going to be the king of the
Exactly.
racing
Exactly.
every time. So it always come to the aerodynamics of the car. So yeah, to end with that, let's move forward. Manshir,
Yeah. So one last interesting fact about this episode, uh, Renault or Alpine has been using same crash structure which is carried over from 2019. So
team.
they had the
Yeah.
same structure in 2019, 2020, and 2021 too. So that has some pretty fond memories of Nico Hülkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, and now Fernando Alonso and Ocon himself. So there has been a lot of drivers in that cockpit. So yeah, the Renault are going back to the roots with their design. So guys, this brings us towards the last uh, section of this podcast. Has been a bit long episode than we anticipated, but hey, we are fans. We can go for a whole day. So diving right into the predictions, I would like top three drivers and top three teams. Akshat, go on.
Yeah, so and you forget about the rivalries.
Yeah,
Come on,
the last
yeah,
point. Last point.
yeah. So yeah, last point will be rivalries. So don't forget to watch till the end. You wait till long, you wait little bit more.
Sure.
So my first three drivers, that's gonna be tough. Saying if I don't anticipate it from the tasting and don't take it in that, so I'll say that Hamilton first, second
Let's
Verstappen.
not consider over here. Let's not consider for top three
Okay.
because
So
we
what
all because we all know the top three are like consistent.
So that
Top three will
there are
so
four
let's make
just
it
just,
top
just
five.
focus just
Let's
focus
make
on
it
who will be coming fourth, fifth, and sixth. Just focus on who will be coming fourth, fifth, and sixth.
that's
what I'm saying. Let's try top five driver,
Yeah,
constructor champion.
better,
Who's gonna be constructor champion and who's gonna be third,
better,
three, four, five, right?
better.
So I'll start. So for me, as I say, first will be Lewis Hamilton in drivers championship. He's gonna
Obvious.
win his eighth championship and break the Schumacher record.
ooh,
And then he's gonna be, and second will be, I think, no, I feel Max Verstappen. This time he's not gonna be stay back. I think, and I think the championship going to be go for long. I hope it goes to the end of the season. But I think Max Verstappen going to be second. Third will be Valtteri Bottas. Fourth will be Sergio Perez. And fifth will be Daniel Ricciardo. That's my top five. Yeah. And
but
constructor championship, I'm thinking Red Bull this time.
nice.
I,
That's
I
spicy.
don't know why, but I am feeling that Red Bull is going to give hell to Mercedes this time. And I think they're going to win constructor championship.
Nice.
Third will be, yeah, third will be this time McLaren's got a little bit of, gonna see their way because I don't
Yeah,
think McLaren can stay on third this time. They do have Mercedes power engine, they do have, Mercedes power unit, but I don't think they're gonna help them win the third position. I think the third is going to be, I'm gonna say Alpine.
Nice. Good
I
prediction.
hope so okay, that Alpine get to the third position. Fourth is going to be Aston Martin, and fifth is going to be McLaren.
Nice, man. Nice. And what about you, Paji?
Yeah.
just don't focus on numbers. I've just picked up my top five or like favorite five.
Okay.
When it down goes to the driver lineup, obviously the two major names, Hamilton and Verstappen, is going to be persistent over here. Apart from this, I'm expecting very much more about from Sebastian because he has a lot to prove since 2019. No doubt he won Singapore. He's good at it. Everyone fears from Sebastian when it comes to Singapore Grand Prix because he has achieved that level
All the
onto
Singapore
that track.
grades.
So I'm expecting more from Sebastian. And when it comes to other two, then Ricardo's still there, and Lando Norris is still
Ooh, no Bottas,
Yeah, oh,
Perez. That's
you're gonna
prediction, Paji.
you're gonna send Bottas to 6 and 7 places.
not. I'm just picked up my top five. I'm not pretty. I told you. I've just picked up my top, like favorite five, not
That's
the
Paji's
total
cheeky way around
consistency.
the top five predictions.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah. He's just using wordplay right now. He has predicted his top five, and he's just using wordplay that his these are not his
getting down to
prediction. These are
getting
just
down
his
to
theory.
constructors. Getting down to constructors. Obviously, I'm with you, Akshay, onto this constructor. I'm expecting more from Red Bull this side. Mercedes, obviously. Apart from this, Aston Martin, Alpine, and McLaren would be the top three,
following three.
bottom
Three
three
for
drivers.
Okay, so for me, probably if I open my window right now, I'd see angry Aditya outside. For me,
You don't. You don't.
for
Please, you don't.
for me, it's first would be Max Verstappen. I mean,
uh,
telling this on the basis of progress that he has made since start of 2018 season. He was spinning, crashing, and come Austria, he just turned into a beast, and he followed it
he
up.
blew everyone's mind.
Yeah, he followed it up with 2020
And that too in his home Grand Prix.
home Grand Prix. Followed it with amazing 2019, even better 2020. What's next? The World Drivers' Championship. So I'm backing him on the basis of his performance as far as Red Bull is reliable enough. Second would be again Lewis Hamilton, very close. Pointed. It's important to point out the it could go down the wire between Lewis Hamilton and Max
yeah.
Verstappen. Third would be, I know, tricky to call, but I am gonna give it to Bottas. He has some unfinished business. So third Bottas,
Exactly.
fourth Perez, and I'm gonna say fifth to maybe Lance Stroll. And
Last roll.
this is coming because Lance Stroll has.
Came out of nowhere. Okay. Nice.
I mean, it is balanced between Lance Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo or Sebastian Vettel. There are three contenders
Yeah.
on my side in fifth. Lance Stroll because obviously Aston Martin with Mercedes power unit, the green Mercedes, is looking good. If it is reliable enough, Stroll has been in that team for a long time, longer time than Sebastian. So that's an edge. And so I think that could play good. But if he spoils it, then Ricardo and Sebastian are there to grab the fifth place. But Stroll could do something good. I mean, we cannot forget Monza and his pole
Yeah.
in Turkey. Lad's got potential. It is always overlooked because of his father's money, but Lad's got
Others, yeah. Father being the team principal of.
yeah. And as for the teams, same Red Bull, Mercedes, and still McLaren. They're good.
But I want to get all these predictions wrong because all three of them hasn't
Sebastian Vettel,
took into consideration for Ferrari.
that
Ferrari is lost. At this time, Ferrari is lost, and I really want to get this prediction wrong, and I want Ferrari and Ferrari drivers in top five.
exactly.
Not just you. All F1 fans wants their prediction to be wrong
I
this
don't know
time.
why. I don't know why we didn't pick up only because of the previous season. The only
Yeah,
reason is
because
because of previous season. But
previous seasons and the
inner me, I want
is
to.
yeah,
But inner
exactly.
me, I definitely want to get our predictions wrong and Ferrari to be
Edge.
in top five and go for
We
top
don't
three.
know. Yeah, and as you talked about Ferrari, and we don't know, might Sergio Perez might won the championship this time. We talk
Exactly.
about the bold predictions.
A lot of things to
Sergio,
a
yeah,
lot of things are
exactly.
coming along.
Yeah, exactly. Sergio Perez has shown so much potential, and he has so much potential and experience more than uh, many drivers right now. So I think that he can win the championship, and he has got the car right now.
Exactly.
So let's
Exactly. This
hope.
time he has
Let's
got the car.
see what. Yeah, yeah. Let's see where it brings. 2020 is just this week, Sunday.
Yeah.
2021 season is gonna start. So let's see what first
Very much
Bahrain
excited.
Grand Prix brings us.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
has been an amazing episode, first ever episode of podcast from the pit lane. A bit on the longer side, but yeah, we can go the whole day blabbing about Formula One. So I guess we will see you next week during the Bahrain Grand Prix. And yeah, until then, stay safe, stay happy, and keep watching Formula One. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah.
soon, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Guys. Have a great day.